Hello everyone, welcome to my little corner of Flosstube. My name is Joy, in case you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, let's chat about what I have been working on over the past week or so. So, we wrapped up a month. We wrapped up October, that's the one. And so I need to chat with you about WIPGO. Maybe my other WIPGO piece is back here. You know what? I think I wrapped that one up. Yeah, it was my Alice piece, and I already talked about finishing up that one for October. So anyway, okay, here we go. So my other October WIPGO piece was Mountain Cabin by Dominic Davison. Here is where it was beginning of the month-ish. I don't know. Here's where it was last time you saw it. And here is where we're at now. So I took all these greens in here and just kind of came down around through here with it. See, for reference, this is the green that I was working on. So 730. So yeah, so I just was filling it up here, brought it down around. I almost finished all of that green on this page. So loved, let me see if I can get my face out of here so you can see it better. Loved working on this. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces. This is my first Heaven and Earth Designs. And so, yeah, so love this one. So much fun to stitch. And then I had my Stitch 60. I pulled a number of projects last week that I didn't even realize which ones I was doing. There we go. Sorry, had to swipe notification. All right. Oh my goodness, they're just like Amazon. All right, I give up. My sister, we share an Amazon account, and she'll buy stuff and then she'll, need to return stuff, and she'll hang on to the returns and just return it all at once. And so I get notifications about every single one. So anyway, okay, so let's start with Germany. This is Reflections of Germany by Ink Circles. Here is where I started. And here's where I got to. So I didn't get a lot in here. I just came up and started working in this part right here. I think I counted wrong, so I think I had to pull some out. But yeah, I just was not feeling this one. So I decided to put it away because I wasn't feeling it and I was not enjoying working on it. So I was just like, all right. So there's that. When I redo my wheel again, it'll come back up, or maybe I'll put it on WIPGO. I don't even know. I'm just thinking about just doing the middle motif and just letting that be that. Partly because of where I started it. I didn't start it in the middle, and I think I got a piece of fabric that was too small anyway. So I'm not going to be able to stitch the whole thing, but I started in Germany, so I want to finish something of it. So there was that. Then I also pulled Victorian Autumn by Thomas Kincaid, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is where I started, and this is after an hour of stitching. So I'm trying to remember what I did. I, I feel like I got quite a bit done on this. Yeah, I don't even know if you can tell what I worked on. I know I worked on something. I just don't remember what it was. I think I worked on a couple. I think it might have been this. Maybe all this through here. I don't really know. But I worked an hour on it and I feel like I got quite a bit done on it. So there's that. And then we had my seasonal Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I'm doing all of these on the same piece, all the spring, summer, winter, autumn. And right now I'm working on the spring section. And so I'm working in this part right in here. I am using DMC 613 for spring. Here's where I started. And here is what I did. So I finished this one right here. This was a lot of fun. Last time I pulled this out, I was kind of discouraged by it. I was just not feeling it. But this time I was like, oh, I love this. So there it is. Super excited. I have a mistake somewhere. Where was my mistake? I think I had a mistake on this one. Maybe it wasn't this one. It might not have been this one. You know what? No, there was a mistake. There it is. I didn't finish crossing that X. I don't know if you can see. So next time I get it out, hopefully I'll remember that and I'll cross that X. But I think it's looking so pretty. So very happy with this one. I'm very happy that I'm happy with it. And then, oh boy. Oh yes, and then I had my cottage of the months. So I'll show you January first. So January, this is January Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. I was using all the colorful colors. I dyed the fabric myself to this ice blue color. And then when I went to go stitch it, I was like, oh, you know what? That kind of tealy isn't going to look super awesome on this blue. So I went into my stash and I pulled some colors, and these are the colors I came out with. And oh my goodness, if I don't love these colors. I think they look beautiful. So I am loving this one. I was so upset when my hour was up. So, but yeah, I filled in the rest of the snowflakes. The little blue flowers there. That is a straight thread. And started working on January. And that is a lot of really good progress, I feel like. So, love, oh my goodness. Aren't those colors just so beautiful? I am so glad that I decided to go with the cooler blues as opposed to the kind of tealy color. So happy about that one. And then as soon as I get this in, come on. There we go. I keep them all in these little Ziploc baggies and have all of them in a tin. That person just rolled up over my lawn. They were turning around and they just ran their car over my lawn because they ran out of road. It makes me annoyed. Okay, so then December. This is December, Cottage of the Month. I'm doing that one on, oh goodness, I totally forgot to mention all these fabrics. I'll start from here on out. This is a 32 count woodland Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. I think it's beautiful. It was a little hard for me to stitch on. So I went through and I finished this branch here, and then I filled in the flowers. And if you can see in the middle of the flowers, there's little yellow bits. I was hoping to work on the words, but the counting on these flowers was just, oh, and you can totally tell that this one's off. It's one stitch too far over, so it should be lined up over here. See how this one is? Yeah, so I need to, I don't know, I may not even do it because it's just for me. I'm not doing this for anyone. But the counting on that got a little involved. So I had a hard time seeing this one when I first picked it up. And then I set it down for about a day and went back to it. It was totally fine. So the words, I believe the December is going to be red, the same red. So I think it looks so beautiful. And like I love the subtlety of the pine leaves on this fabric. It's a variegated thread, and I think it looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, darling. Okay, which brings us to WIPGO for November. So the WIPGO pieces that I pulled for November were The Fox from Year in the Woods by Cottage Garden Samplings. Not sure when I started this, and I'm currently working on it, so it's still in the hoop with a needle and everything. But here's where I'm at, working on his ears. Absolutely love Cottage Garden Samplings. This is, I think it's a 28 count, some sort of linen, something I picked up from my LNS. So I'm gonna be working on him more. I'm kind of hoping to get a good portion of him finished this month. So excited, super excited to work on this. Can't believe it took all year to get to it, but he's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, then this is my Legend of Zelda one that I'm doing for my husband. This is on a 28 count even weave, I think. The pattern, I believe, is by Nenny Sweet Patterns. And, oh, well, I hopefully would have shown you where it was before. But here's where I got to. I got a lot of work done on this one. So I went through and I brought this green down here, and then I started filling in a little bit there's two different greens in here. You can sort of see it. So started bringing that one down and through here. So yeah, I got almost 500 stitches in on that this week. So you can see where my nail polish peeled off with my nasty fingernails, but yeah. So I'm gonna keep going with those this week. This week I pulled 3 projects to work on for my Stitch 60. The first one was Wordy Birds January by Sweetling Studio. This one I'm using the called for everything on it. I think this is beautiful. I love January with these blues. This is the fabric that came with the kit. This is the called for fabric. 32 count linen by Grace Notes in Agua Fresca. And I got this as a kit from Heartland Quilting and Stitching. They had a club going this year that just wrapped up. But here is where I'm at with that one. So I'll go through and try to finish the bird. I love this one. Absolutely fell in love with this one. And then the Shores at Hawkrun Hollow. Let me pause while I go get the pattern. Okay, so this is the Shores of Hawkrun Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I'm working on this first block here. The nice thing about how this is this is a packet of a whole bunch of sheets, and each block is like its own pattern. So you can mix and match, you know, do just one, do them all, however it is you want to do it. They make it easily customizable. They do have a layout that I'll show you back here. Because it's not, well, it's sort of the patterns. But they lay it all out for you. You know, you can do whatever. I'm going to do the whole thing as is. I'm doing this, I'm being a rebel. And I'm doing this 1/1 on 28 count. This is 28 count ledger by Be Stitch Me. I got this from Jen's Stitching Niche. And I think it's very nautical looking, but this is where I'm at. So hopefully I'll at least get the outline of the box done. Maybe start working on the lighthouse set. And then I charted a picture that I took in Germany. This is called St. Peter's in Spring. This is a church that my brother and sister-in-law got married in. So I'm doing an upper left-hand start, which is the super pale blue that looks almost white. So here's where I'm starting at. Not too exciting, you can barely see it, but yeah, so that one is available on my Etsy shop, Captain Stitchy Bug. And that's it for stitching progress and plans. I do have a tiny bit of haul. I probably won't have regular haul from now on because I am not planning on joining any more monthly clubs at the moment. I may take that money and, well, that's not true. Okay. Let's talk HAED SAL first. So, I joined the SAL simply because I wanted to see if I could not necessarily do it, but I just wanted to dip my toe in the water. We'll put it that way. So I have not decided on the one that I'm doing yet. But there are a couple that I was looking at. I was looking at Battle, and I think all of these are available on the website. They're just cropped versions for the SAL. I'll link to the SAL rules and everything. I'm not going to take the time to explain that, but you get a bunch of bonus charts depending on how many participants they are, how much you finish, all that. So I'm still trying to decide. I'm trying to decide between this, oh my goodness, what's called Draco lupinus. I don't even remember. It's like a dragon rabbit. What's the other part to it? I don't remember what the other part is to it, but I love the blues in it. That one keeps kind of calling to me. And then Veritas Still, I think is the name of it. It's kind of dark. Not something I normally stitch, but I don't know. I'm thinking about those two. I have until I think mid-December to make my decision. So I'm just kind of letting it sit and seeing, which one really kind of strikes a chord with me. I wanted to do the battle, but I found the uncropped version on the HAED website and decided I'd rather stitch that. Yeah, and the others are nice and pretty. I don't have an issue doing AI charts at all. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what I end up going with. Okay, so I don't have any of my supplies for that. But I'll be getting those eventually. It doesn't start until the 1st of the year, so I have plenty of time. So I got okay. You remember how in the middle of the year I just gave up on "And Praise the Pollinators" by the Blue Flower? Here it is. Because I made a mistake and it was too big of a mistake to fudge, so I had to restart it. So I got some fabric to restart it. I dyed this myself. I think this is using Petal Pink. It's almost the exact same color as the other one. So it's just this very pale pinky color. So I'm gonna throw that in my Stitch 60 to start. It's not showing up like super great on camera, but I'm loving it. And then I got fabric for Real Comfort. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do a recolor on this one, but as a reminder, this is what that looks like. And I got 32 count Whisper. I don't remember whose this is. Maybe Witchell, I don't know. But I'm just gonna brighten up the colors a tiny bit, just a little bit. And so there's that. And then okay, so this was the last installment of the monthly clubs that I'm in. The first one is the Money, oh my goodness, I always call it that, the Money Monthly Mini Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. Really cute. Look at those little gingerbread people in there. Adorable. So there's that one. So now I have the full set, and maybe I'll start those next year. I don't know. But then Sweet Wing Studio, Wordy Birds December. I love cardinals so much. I was so happy for this. It comes with the floss. They are starting another Sweet Wing Studio club, which isn't quite my style, but it's still adorable. So the fabric that came with this was 32 count linen by Grace Notes and Mojito Smoothie. We got this one at some point, but I feel like this one's a little bit more green than the other one was. I feel like the other one was a little bluer. So cute and all, but a little pale for me for Christmas. So I grabbed a 32 count Crystal Herald Belfast linen from Picture This Plus, and look how gorgeous that is. Oh, there's two. Nope, that's not the right. Look how beautiful that is. It's sparkly. And it's nice and green. It's almost like woodland, but it's a little cooler of a color. And so I'm gonna do that, and I'm so excited. Loving that. So yeah, that's it for haul. So yes, I've got a lot of really good stuff going down 2026. I'm gonna try to keep my buying to a minimum. But I think I'm going to do an extra where I fill out my WIPGO wheel and then, or my WIPGO board. And then maybe go through my haul and kind of add stuff for stuff I want to start. I don't know. We'll see. I may just, fly by the seat of my pants next year. I'm still going to keep up with stitch 60 and all that. I just have all these patterns that I've bought, and so I'm like, you know what, I'd rather start them than have these patterns that I'm not doing anything with. So that has been the prevailing attitude this year. We'll see if that changes in 2026. I don't know. But anyway, that is all I have for this week. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, send me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys all in about a week. Mwah.